I want to comment also, reading your book, you quite a few times refer to John F. Kennedy's speech, April 27th, 1962, I believe. It was I think, before the American press, I think, the American media convention. And I don't know the exact organization's name, but I've always been an admirer of JFK. I always thought he was a great president. But honestly, I think we really. I think the world and the United States of America, in particular, would be a different place if he lived. I really believe that.
I agree.
I wasn't actually aware of that speech that he made. And I kept looking at it, and I realized how great he really was. He really was a unique president. Also along the lines, it's interesting to recall, though, that right before he was elected, Dwight Eisenhower, right, I think before he left office, and in his farewell speech, talked about the military-industrial complex.
Absolutely.
So, something was in the air at that time. You can see something was in the air. Something was cooking. The truth was trying to get out. There were forces that were truly, humanitarian and truly patriotic in the most positive sense. And somehow it all came crashing down. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think on the note of JFK, some of that would depend on what side of politics you believe in. But I think there are, even for Republicans, I think you can sort of see there's something in JFK that transcended. I don't think JFK was perfect, and I think he came from one of the elite families at the time, and his father had even sided with the Nazis, and that's why he couldn't become president. But I think what happened is tremendous change happened within JFK while he was in office. You could see it, and by the end, he was number one, he was going to stop Vietnam. Number two, and I believe this could have been a bigger reason why he was dethroned, is he'd worked out that the Federal Reserve is a big problem with.
Yeah.
There's so much wealth in the U.S., but it's not getting to the people. He even knew that then, and the Federal Reserve being a privately owned institution, even though it says federal, there's nothing federal about it. It's not government owned at all. It's a central bank that's private. So he was trying to change that. And I think that one of those two things, either Vietnam or banking, is what upset the powers that be about him. And even if you don't believe JFK was assassinated by anyone other than Oswald, clearly there was a lot of people who wanted him out of office anyway. So it's still, it might have just been that Oswald got there first. You know what I mean? And then you go back to Eisenhower. Yes, he warned. He was the only president that's been a general, I believe, and he warned that the military-industrial. This is in 1961 as farewell speech. The military-industrial complex is getting far too big, and if we don't do anything about it, it's going to become a creature of its own, which is what I believe happened now.
Yeah.